What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Climb Together podcast. This is episode number 10, and we are finally double digiting. I am one of your hosts, Tonage, and this is my co-host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What's up?
Today, we've got a lot of things to talk about. Like, we have probably about 10, 11, 12.
Oh, the topic list is long today.
The topic list is pretty long today, so we're going to try to move through it. This might be a long one, so you might want to buckle up, get ready to go. But we also have our very first, special guest where we're going to, interview them and everything. Like, we're going to have a real, podcast guest today.
Yup.
We have TAMAGA here today. TAMAGA, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
So, TAMAGA, tell us a little bit about yourself, just what you're known
Give us
for.
a rundown.
Yeah. Who is TAMAGA?
Okay, so obviously my name is Tamaga. 27. I live in Northern Ireland. As the podcast goes along, you'll know that I'm pretty much very interested in the CDL. Apart from that, I am a streamer and a gamer. But in the daytime, I am also design and technical author for an engineering company.
It's lit.
Ooh.
You love to see it.
Yeah.
So, I know one thing that we should do, Tone.
What?
Remember how we talked about going over if we had a guest going over their history with the video games?
I think we should do that. Hold on.
Oh yeah. So Tamaga basically just run down how you got into video games, what games you played, and what led to what you play now.
Yeah, okay. Let me do this a little bit more tonage okay?
Oh god.
TAMAGA,
I'm scared.
tell us how you got into gaming, and then tell us how you got into esports. How
Oh,
the
that's
gaming led you into esports, especially the Call of Duty esports. It's more specifically, since you do the CDL stats and everything.
Yeah, so basically, no, I was literally talking about this 10 minutes ago. Basically, it started off as a young kid. Me and my best friend at the time, we always used to go to each other's houses and sort of compete against each other. So we used to play Pac-Man. Can get the furthest in Pac-Man and survive the longest and so on and so forth. Sort of progressed on to more of a 3D game with Rayman, which was a game title back then, which was at that point very sort of popular. Sort of died off now because they've stopped releasing that type of game. It has been sort of revised for the Switch, but I don't really think it's as popular. From then, I really just transferred into Call of Duty. I think the first Call of Duty was World at War was my first. Was for a PC.
Good one. World at War's a good one.
Then, yeah, I think the first time that I had an Xbox, I was playing Black Ops, the first game. And ever since Black Ops, I've just sort of been a multiplayer. Found out about the professional scene, sort of been following it since then. Following Optic, who is my team. I am an avid supporter of that team. But yeah, and then as I sort of grown up and grew into the scene, I just started doing stats. Last year I did stats for the full season. And yeah, that's pretty much rundown of my gaming life.
Well, thank you so much for sharing. That's pretty cool, though. I mean, it's interesting to see where everybody comes from, especially because we all get to the, the same game, essentially, of Call of Duty and, watching the CDL, but the way that we get here is all different. I started on this little, VTech freaking kids console thing, right? And you started playing Pac-Man, with your friends, competing. And Deception, remind me again how you started playing? Video games?
The first thing I had was a PS2. My parents got it for me for Christmas when I was like 4. I didn't play it. Apparently, I don't remember this, but apparently I didn't play it for like a year, and they thought it was a bad decision. But then I just started. I just picked it up one day, and I've been playing video games since then.
What was the first game you played?
It was a game. It was a game called ATV Off-Road Fury 3. It was a fantastic game for the time, but like I guess they just thought I would enjoy it, and yeah, I ended up enjoying it. So, and I started playing other games from there.
Okay. Okay.
I actually downloaded a PS2 emulator a couple days ago, and I started playing that game again for the first time in probably like a decade.
Damn. Okay. Pop off, Deception. Pop off. Yeah. I mean, it's just I like to see, you know, where people come from. It's always a different story. Yet we all get to the similar place of, you know, here.
We all got the COD around the same time too, which is
Yeah.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, like if I heard correctly, was that War?
Yeah, TAMAGA got in at World at War.
Yeah, World at War for the PC, but at
Mhm.
that point my PC couldn't run it, so I sort of had to get an Xbox, and hence why I had to wait. I was one of those little impatient kids at Christmas that wanted to open up the present. I was a little impatient kid that wanted the Xbox.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because you played like that was like the World at War was the first game that I played too. The zombies on it. That's how I got my introduction to Call of Duty, because my stepsister and my stepdad would play it all the time. I'm like, oh, I want to play, like, because, you know, like I was like 5, and like, you know, we had just all moved in together, and like him and my mom were like set to get married. I'm like, I kind of want to bond with these people if I'm gonna be like living with them.
But you
Yeah.
wanted to bond with your own mother?
No, not with my mother, with my stepsister and my stepdad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
So
were trying to play zombies, so.
yeah, and then I had like the worst nightmare of my life. Like I remember it to this day.
I was about to say.
Yeah, I had the
5-year-old kid playing
worst.
zombies?
Yeah, I was 5 years old. I played zombies.
Yeah.
I had the worst nightmare of my life. I remember it to this day. So my grandparents, they live in like a pretty big house. They live in like a farmhouse in the middle of nowhere in like upstate New York. So, and they also raised 7 kids there, so they needed it to be big, right? And they did like multiple additions and whatever since they bought it. But so like their house was like the main area, and like all the windows and doors, the zombies would come in, right? But then my family started slowly turning into zombies, and I had to defeat all the zombies in order for them to come back to being human. Like that was the goal.
A good dream right
and
there.
I had that at 5 years old, and I was petrified, and I didn't play zombies again for like 3 years. Like
it's definitely not the sort of age a normal kid would get into that. Like it's definitely nightmare material.
Yeah, it was not good for me. And then, but now I love zombies, and I mean, not playing zombies that allowed me to play multiplayer. It's like
I can talk about zombies with TAMAGA for a while.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. But yeah, so like instead, I would just sneak downstairs, because then after that nightmare, my parents would not, like my mom would not let me play Call of Duty after that nightmare.
That's fair.
Right? So my stepbrother and I would sneak down on the weekends. We would sneak downstairs, and we would play until before they got up. So we would wake up super early, and we would play, like we would 1v1, or we would play multiplayer and split screen on Black Ops 2. Or was it Black Ops?
Man,
Black Ops or Black Ops 2?
Sheesh.
Well, I think it was Black Ops, maybe.
Black Ops 2, man. Come on.
But yeah, that's how that one went.
I love Black Ops 2, dude. I'm so glad we can play that on Plutonium now. But yeah, I mean, as far as TAMAGA goes, and like with CDL stats, like when he pulled up all those things in your
when he
chat, I
showed
was
that
like,
sheet,
oh my
bro,
God, dude.
when he showed that sheet, I was like, oh my God. So you're planning to do the same thing this season, correct?
Oh yeah, but in a lot more detail.
Oh God.
Ooh, and you get to start this weekend too, so you better like, you know, get ready, you know, get your comfy
I'll not be starting this weekend.
You're not starting this weekend?
Oh no.
You're not gonna cover the kickoff?
No, it doesn't matter.
That's fair.
No, teams are going to take it easy. They're not going to play their full potential. Not going to be giving away strats, the rotation, stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't cover the kickoff weekends.
Okay, so starting the next like thing you're gonna start. Okay.
Yeah, when the major happens in like 3 more weeks.
Yeah. All right. I mean, I'm ready to, you know, I if you are okay with it, I mean, I think it'd be great if like you could let us you know, use those after the majors on the podcast if that's okay. You could be our stats guy.
Stats guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good take.
The
Tamaga can
official
be the
Climb
guy that
Together
provides
stats
us
guy.
with more insight.
Sure, I don't mind.
Let's go. Anyway,
Well, every major recap that we do, we can have our we have a little stat section courtesy of Tamaga.
hell yeah. After every major, we should have like a little stats. We could do like a little stats brick and play like, you know, like the little breaking news theme thing, like, you know? You know what I'm
God, we
saying?
have a lot of breaking news as of yesterday.
Okay, so we actually do have like a lot of things to talk about. So I'm gonna try to like move us along a little bit. So first off, let's talk, since we're talking about the CDL already, let's talk about the CDL kickoff this weekend and like kind of like our predictions of like how it's gonna go. As far as like
Tamaga knows all,
teams.
so he's probably got the
So
prediction.
that's why I like figured this would be like good to talk about. You know, first off the gate. So Tamaga, who's like your prediction to like come out this weekend like on top?
Well, this is the thing. I don't know how much detail you want me to go into, but sort
As
of
much as you want, man. As much as you want.
Go into all the detail you want, for sure.
that's you don't have to tell me twice. So basically, I've been looking at scrims and the results to see what sort of practice teams have been going into. For example, we have Optic Taxis, who has over 300 maps played in total since the game has came out to this point. And then you have teams like Paris Legion, who has only 56.
And Ultra,
So
who like hadn't done a recorded scrim since like November.
the only reason why Ultra hasn't done any scrims is because I think 80% of their team is still in the UK. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, was still in the UK until last week. They're now back
yeah,
in.
because I saw they started scrimming again. I was like, wait, they're back.
Yeah, so a lot of them were still at home and stuff like that. So, uh, let's go. So, number one is obviously going to be Faze. From the scrim info and from what I can see, they're going to be the team to beat this year. It's
As they were
no
last
challenge.
year.
Not a surprise.
Not a surprise at all. In the number two, number three spot, we have Optic and Ultra. Again, both of these teams were very much up there, the top four teams last year. I mean, yeah, for sure, last year was very tight between Optic, Ultra, and Empire.
Yep.
And funnily enough, my fourth spot, and I think a lot of people will actually take this as a surprise, Seattle Surge in fourth.
Oh, I saw
The
Scrim
Seattle
Intel put
Surge?
them that far up there too, and I can kind of
Yes,
agree, to be honest. They've been
like
frying.
Surge. Surge has actually did a lot of changing this year. They picked up Red and Sib from the challengers. They have the young gun Mac Melts, who last year was okay. He did
Mackenzie
good. He
Melt.
did good on subliners and accuracy. So from that team, I've been looking at the scrims and sort of like out there, and they hold a 55% up win rate. So I have them in fourth.
Yeah, they've been doing a good job.
And then fifth is Boston and subliners.
Yeah.
That rounds up the top six.
Yeah,
I
I can
mean,
see
I
that.
can, yeah. Well, the thing is like, I think I'm excited to see what Boston Breach can do, because one,
They've
not
been doing
only
well in
they
scrims.
they have been, and they have like a pretty solid roster too. But the thing is like, I feel like Boston has the potential to take this like entrance into the league in a whole new level, right?
Yep.
Because you know when like 100 Thieves came in, right, with LA Thieves, they're like, okay, you know, they hyped it up and everything, but they really didn't deliver as much as we would like them to, you know what I mean? Like
They delivered in the roster change department.
Well,
they
yeah,
really
I mean,
made
they changed
Monster
roster
Mania
like
happy.
literally. Roster Mania was all year for them, but like I'm really excited for like Boston Breach to like fully like, because they've been fully announced now. Like they're out. I mean, I
Yep.
think it happened the day after the podcast last week. It
It
always
always happens,
It always
dude.
happens. We do
It
the
happens
Wednesday. We
every
do
time.
Wednesday. We do the podcast. Thursday, all this shit stuff happens, and it's like, what the heck?
That's why I was thinking yesterday when all the Activision stuff came out. I was like, thank God we're not gonna be late
Finally,
to
you
the
know,
party.
finally. But like their announcement was great. Like they just posted a tweet like 9 minutes ago with the breach character, with the breach agent from Valorant with like 2 X's on its eyes in there. You said, there can only be one breach. And it's just like, they've got like already like a really good social media
They
presence.
already have more of a social media presence than Paris Legion, so they're doing a great
So
job.
okay, so
as well.
I'm gonna say something. Okay, so Boston Breach has 31 tweets, right? And they've been what, a week announced?
Yeah, they've been
Paris
announced for a week,
Legion.
and they only had like 3 before they got announced.
Paris Legion has 2,000 tweets, right? But like in the
Yeah,
past,
I highly
like,
doubt a lot of those are about the brand.
ready? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 since December, right? And then Boston
So
Breach.
Boston in a week has beaten them in 2 months.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, that's what I figured. I really feel bad for the Paris players, to be honest. Like I feel like they're just the lame duck team of the league.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take it into consideration how bad they were last year, then who they've picked up this year, you can tell the Paris Legion team is not a team that people want to be on.
Yep.
It's just
I mean, if
not.
they got like Temp and John on their team, like John's literally one of the greatest sub players ever, but he hasn't really been on good teams lately, and he just hasn't been.
He has literally fell from a decent team, the worst team in the league, and Amp joined Paris Legion because he was basically a CDL reject. Nobody wanted him on
Yeah,
their
I don't
team.
think. I think
I
Temp
don't
wanted to
like
be in
Temp.
the CDL, but he didn't want to play Challengers. So he was like, "Hey, Paris, let me come over there."
Pretty much, probably. Well, the thing is I don't like Temp. I don't like his.
Temp is weird, man.
I just too much for me, personally. He's too much. He needs to like take a chill pill and.
Yeah, I
So
don't know what's up with Temp, to be honest.
what is your guys' sort of, without looking at the stat sheet, what do you guys think is going to happen with the Kickoff Classic? Like, who do you think is going to be the front runner? Who's going to be the team that makes the upset, and what team do you think will literally just fall at the first hurdle?
I don't know. Let me look at the bracket. Let me pull up the bracket real quick, and then I'll.
You want me to go first? Because I can tell you.
Yeah, go first. I'll pull up the bracket, and cause I want to do like a little bit.
If I had to look at, if I was gonna guess like a top 3, I'd say grand finals probably be Faze and Optic. Just because Optic's put in the work. And Faze are obviously just really good. I'd probably say Surge or Ultra could be top 3. I think Surge could beat them with the amount of practice that they've had, but if I was looking at like an upset team, I'd have to say maybe NYSL. Or maybe if LA Thieves could get their stuff together, I think they'd be a fantastic team, but they've been struggling.
I don't know if you want to go through it round by round. Would be.
Oh, we could go through it round by round. I'm down for that.
That's what I want to do. I want to make predictions.
Fine. Okay, no, that's fine.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to pull up the freaking.
Have it. It's on Discord if you just open it up.
Oh well, I found it eventually. I got it. Okay, so we're gonna start with Friday. We're gonna go right down the list. Okay, Seattle Surge, Royal Ravens. Who do you think who's gonna come out on top? I think Surge personally.
Yeah, Surge definitely. 100%.
I'm gonna be risky. I'm gonna say London.
You're gonna say London's gonna come out of the first one?
I'm gonna say London. I
Okay.
think.
He's in the UK, so what did you expect?
Sure.
Oh, but I think the players haven't been playing to their full potential.
Hmm.
That is
Whilst
true.
the Atlas Surge have been playing to their full potential.
Or have they unlocked their full potential? Let me think here. All right, so then next, Subliners versus the Boston Breach.
Oh God, that's a tough one.
Personally, I'm gonna go with my home state, New York, because well, Crim and Clay, you know, they're two like they're like two veterans in this, right? And they're playing with some
Yeah,
rookies, right?
that's what I'm saying. I think experience might.
They might come out on top too, you
I
know?
think experience might win out in that one.
I mean, it could be Boston too, but I'm gonna go with Subliners just because, you know, I'm a New York girl all the way.
I'm going Subliners too. I think with the team that Subliners has, it's definitely they're bigger hitters than what Boston has. Even though Boston's been doing good in scrims and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
haven't faced Subliners, so there's no data really
Yep.
how they compete.
All right, and then next is Los Angeles Thieves versus Paris Legion. Go LA Thieves on
Do
this
we
one.
have to answer this one? Or
I
can we
don't
just
know, but I'm
move
gonna go with LA Thieves just because Legion fucking sucks. Like they don't even want to care anymore.
on?
But LA Thieves
Legion,
doesn't
they're
really
just
do.
awful, dude.
Like I was ruined for Paris Legion, bro. Like je parle le français. Like you know, like they would have been my like. I love Paris. I love France. No, they just suck.
Apparently, they
I
don't love the COD League.
don't think you need an answer for this one.
Okay.
It's pretty much just going to be Thieves. To be honest with you, it's a 3-0. If
Yeah,
it's
if
Rio?
not a
Paris
3-0,
put a
I'd
Yeah.
be
map on them, I'd
surprised.
be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they get a map on them, that is going to be a testament to like the LA Thieves team. Like they should be. Oh, I mean, if they don't, it's going to be a little rough. Right. Then the next matchup, which will be the final matchup of maybe the final matchup. No, not the final matchup of the day, but whatever.
Florida
It
with
actually will be.
LAG.
It will be the.
There's 4 games the Friday, 4 games Saturday, and the 3 on the Sunday.
Okay. So anyway, so we got the Florida Mutineers and the LA Gorillas. So the last Friday match. Who do you think's gonna win this one? I want to hear you guys first on this one because I.
No,
Not
I'm
sure.
going last because I have a lot to say.
Okay.
Oh, I think I think Slasher shows up on land and LAG actually wins the series. I think that's what happens.
Yeah. Okay. Um. See, I'm not really sure, so I'm just gonna counter deceptions. I'm gonna go Florida Mutineers. Am I gonna be right? I don't know,
Wow.
but I'm gonna counter it.
We're going for Wyatt's team, okay?
Yeah, I'll go for Wyatt's team. It's okay. I'll take it.
I'm gonna go for LAG 3-0.
Rio. Ooh.
Yeah, I
Florida
think Slasher
Mutineers.
shows up on land.
Florida Mutineers is currently ranked 11th out of 12th.
I'm just trying to be different, you know. I'm trying to be the different one, you know.
I mean, you
Alrighty.
can't have bias on the podcast, so
Anyway, so Saturday, going into Saturday, I think for the first matchup, which will be Atlanta Faze versus either Seattle or London, I think we all know who's gonna move on from that one.
No, who could it be?
London, obviously. Hello? It's definitely not Faze.
You guys took Surge, so it will be Faze versus Surge.
Faze versus Surge. So I'm gonna say Faze. I'm
yeah.
gonna say Faze on that one, just
Yeah, I think
because.
that's a pretty easy pick too.
I'm gonna shock you guys, and I'm gonna go with Faze. Yeah, it's pretty much
Like
the
it's
straightforward
pretty.
answer.
They're definitely moving on to Sunday. And then next we've got the Rocker versus NY or Boston. We went with
Won
NY.
by selections, it'll be NY. Yep.
Yeah, and then so Rocker versus NY. I really have not seen much from Rocker.
What I've heard, Rocker have not been having a good time.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go with NY on this one. I'm gonna keep with the New York.
Yeah, I think NYSL got it there. I think they'll beat Rocker.
What about you, Tamaga?
I think, well, currently Rockers 9th. So every time that I'm saying they're predicted 9th, there's like sort of a lot of information behind it. So basically, last season, the coaches did predictions on the scrim info put together. Rockers predicted 9th this season.
Mm-hmm.
Subliners is predicted 7th. It's kind of a close game. As again, I'm just gonna stick with the Subliners team being a little too strong compared to Rockers. So I think York still
Yeah.
progresses.
Okay. So the next matchup on Saturday will be Optic versus LAT. Personally, I think Optic, just because Optic's been playing so good, and lost like the Thieves, man. As much as I want them to do well, they're just not. They're just sucking so bad. So I'm gonna say Optics moves on to Sunday with that matchup.
Yeah, I think Optic definitely takes that one, to be honest. I think they put in a ton of work, and I think their first LAN match, they'll definitely show up. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 3-0.
I think it's a clean sweep for Optic.
Yeah. So our last matchup. So we're gonna go with LAG because you guys two picked it. So LAG versus Toronto Ultra. Personally, I think Ultra will be moving on. Just because I really don't know. This, for me personally, I really don't know. But I'm gonna go with Ultra. I don't think it's gonna be a clean sweep, but I'll definitely be like a 3-1.
I think maybe just because of more practice, I think LAG might put a map on them, but
Mm-hmm.
I think Toronto are just a better team.
Maga?
No, I do agree. I was not trying to interrupt him. I think even though Ultra hasn't scrimmed as much as other teams, Toronto Ultra roster is still a lot stronger than 70% of everyone else. So I
Oh, yeah.
think sure Inception's gonna turn up. You've still got Bounce, you've still got Kami, and you've still got Kleenex. I mean that team was pretty solid last year. Still gonna be pretty solid this year. So I
Yep.
still think that they're one of my top three. So I definitely think they will progress to Sunday.
Alrighty. So then the first matchup of Sunday will be FaZe versus NYSL. Who do we think's moving on this one?
FaZe.
FaZe.
I don't know if
FaZe.
it'll be a 3-0. It might be a 3-1. But
Yeah,
I think
I think NYSL will put up a fight. It's not going to be a clean sweep, and it's probably not going to be super easy. But I do believe FaZe is going to move on.
Believe it's a 3-0.
You believe it's going to be a 3-0?
Okay. Be a 3-0.
Alrighty, and then the next matchup of Sunday will be Optic versus Toronto Ultra.
Oh, that's an interesting one, considering
Personally,
how Ultra had Optic's number all year last year.
True. So it could, I mean, but the thing is, they might like have been like working on that, and like Optic's been scrimming like all the time. Like they scrim pretty much every day almost. I feel like.
I think experience on that game would win out. I think that series would be probably pretty close. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes game 5.
Game 5, yeah.
Optic are so good in S&D now. I think they got it unlocked.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Optic too. Moving on to Sunday. What about you, Tamaga?
I think for sure. I think even though these guys, Ultra definitely had Optic's sort of number last year, I have to take into consideration that Ultra is still the same, so they're just probably going to stay the same. Whilst Optic has two different players. They have Shotzi, last season was like a top 10 player.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got Illy, who is, I would say, very good with an AOR or anything that is really given. So I would say it's definitely going to be a game 5. Unless the game 4 is like get lucky or something, but it's definitely going to be a game 5, and I would give it to Optic.
You got to factor in Illy and Dashy's chemistry too, because they've been playing S&D together since they were like 15.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think definitely. So we're gonna go into our finals, right? Me, FaZe versus Optic.
Oh man.
Now, personally, I want to hear. I want to hear Tamaga's on this. I want to hear Tamaga's decision on this before anything else. I'm putting you on the spot, bro. Putting you on the spot.
I'm looking at the perspective of stats. Lana Faze are better in everything except for the sort of the chemistry. I think is still lacking because I think last year there was a lot of sort of bickering behind the scenes between Arcides and Celium and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think the chemistry is going to be fully there. It's still going to be a very, very, very strong team, but I
Mhm.
think from what I can see in videos and stuff like that, I think Optic definitely will have the chemistry. So to clutch up, definitely going to go to game 5. I would probably say Phase because they have the because they have a BZ and Simp, which are the tiny terrors, and I mean they're ridiculous in terms of S&D. So I would definitely give it to Phase. That'll definitely be a close game.
Yeah, I'm gonna you go deception. I'll go last. I usually go first, then I'll last.
I think it will go game 5. And I think if I wanted to be safe, I would say phase 3-2, but I also would not be surprised if Optic shows up in game 5 since it's S&D.
See, the thing is, I think this is gonna be like the match to watch. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this
Yeah,
could
I
either
really
be.
hope this grand final happens.
Well, the thing is
'cause-
it's either gonna be like, it's either gonna be really, really, really close going into the end, or it's really not gonna be. But I have a feeling it's gonna be really, really close in every game. Like, they're gonna have to fight every game. That's what I hope, anyway.
I mean, it's on land too, so it's like, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
So personally, I'm gonna go with Optic, just because I want to see some other people other than FaZe win. Personally, am I basing that off anything other than that? Probably not. But yeah.
So you're the deciding factor then, Deception.
I think with Optic's chemistry and it being on land, and especially how much Scump can turn up on land, and now he has Shotzi as an SMG with him too. I think Optic will take it 3-2. I think it's gonna happen.
Alrighty. Different opinions going through that, but I think that was a nice prediction type thing. Haven't really done that on the podcast.
Well, we haven't had CDL matches on the podcast, so
True. All right, I'm gonna try to like move us along just a little bit, just because we are kind of like half an hour in already, almost.
gonna be a long one.
Speaking of the CDO, we're gonna talk about 2 more things, and we're gonna kind of move on a little bit. So first off, we got this. So one thing that's happened in the past 24, 48 hours. So Merk and Maven are not going to be casting, to our knowledge, aren't not going to be casting this year in the CDL. Personally, I think that's going to hurt the CDL, like entertainment side.
Oh yeah.
Mainly because they're such great casters and they have such good chemistry together, and they've been doing it for a while. You know what I mean? They know what's up.
I mean, Merc is basically confirmed he's not casting unless something
Yeah.
comes up soon. I mean, he literally said he was gonna be doing content creation and stuff. Maven is like the only one who's kind of been kind of vague about it, but I have a feeling he might not be casting either. I mean, he did say that something could come up soon, but like he said he could get an offer, but I'm gonna bank on the fact he's probably not casting.
So I've actually spoken to Maven yesterday,
Oh wow.
and he has pretty much confirmed behind the scenes he doesn't agree with what's happening. So I am pretty sure he is not gassing.
Oh, we have insider information. Let's go. Yeah, I kind of figured that, to be honest. He did say in a tweet that he had fought internal battles with him, and he thought that was probably, you know, that was
I've
probably
also
by
got another
manipulate.
person missing from last year's talent team.
Oh,
Ooh.
Lottie too.
Lacasse and Des, Lottie, yeah.
Yeah, she's
Oh
moved.
yeah,
I think she went
Lottie's
back to
going
Halo.
too.
Yeah.
Yep,
Few days.
she's casting for.
She's
She's gonna
Halo.
be doing the desk for HCS. So
Yeah, so they're really like they're gonna be pulling in a lot of new casters this year, so that'll be
I mean, they have
interesting.
Alley Cat from COD Mobile, so
Odd
that's
Mobile
cool.
and Challengers last year, yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see like how that goes. I mean, if they do well, good for them. You know what I mean? Like, it's great.
I
But
don't know. I mean, I think as far as matches go, they'll bring in the numbers.
mm,
But like, I think a lot of people in the chat will be talking about bringing Maven and Merk back.
oh yeah, that's definitely
Because
gonna
Maven and
be.
Merk usually always cast the biggest matches,
Mm-hmm.
and not having them there
I'd probably go to Miles
is,
then, huh? If he's
yeah,
still.
they'll probably, for the big matches, they'll do Miles and
Wasn't
Chance because they're
chance.
well
Yeah.
known.
But
And I like Miles and Chance a lot too. I think they're fantastic.
Yeah, me too.
I don't mind them. I don't mind them because obviously Miles has got that personality. It's like out there and he's, he's brash and he does the entertainment, and Chance is sort of the guy that sort of contains his excitement.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
they're
Chance
a
has
good
got the
pairing.
play-by-play.
Yeah, but you have to think if it's an Optic Phase final and there's a crowd there, and it's like, for example, the other duo that I know is Lando and Study. Those
Oh
two are
God,
commentating that match. Can
please no,
guarantee you, a lot of people will be muting that stream, just be
please
watching the game
no.
in quiet.
I don't want to see Lando and Study do any big matches. I mean, I
Uh,
like Lando, but Study is not it, dude.
no, like compare them to Maven and Mark. Those guys have like 5 to 10 years worth of experience still to get before they even get to that level. You have to understand is Mark was an ex-player, Study was an ex-player. Look at the difference between them two.
Yep.
It's huge.
I mean, and just Maven and Merc had all that casting experience. I mean, they literally started in CWL together when it started, so I mean, they've been here. Uh, so having all that experience leaving the casting booth is gonna be bad, I think.
Yeah.
Miles and Chance are gonna have to carry him.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see on like how these newer casters take on the big stage. So
I just wonder who else they would get. That's my
I
question.
mean, look
I
at the
me,
know.
desk.
me, they can get me. I'll cast. Tonish
There's
the
Well,
only other one
caster.
person on that desk.
I mean,
Nameless. He's the
Nameless,
only
yeah.
other person there that
oh
hasn't
my
been
god, I've
mentioned.
never heard Nameless cast, and I don't know if I want to.
No, he can stay on the desk. I'm okay with that. Or he can just not be there. I mean, if they want to bring me
I don't
on as
want
a
to hear Maven
caster,
say I'm mind blown. I don't want to hear Nameless say I'm mind blown at literally every play that happens.
I'm mind blown.
Like I don't want to hear it. He can
I'm
hang out at
mind
the desk.
blown.
I don't know, dude.
It's gonna be an interesting thing. Personally, I think they should bring me on as a caster, but will they? Who knows? I haven't casted. Makes
They
sense.
need to bring Maven and Merc back first.
If they want to come back.
I mean,
Well, I mean, if they
I can
don't
bet
want
you
to
right
come back,
now.
that's fair.
I can bet you right now. The first thing and last thing that you see in that stream chat is bring Maven and Mark back.
Oh, every
Oh
time,
yeah.
I bet every series that's all the chat. If it's like the middle of a match and they're not yelling about like whoever their favorite team is or like when does Optic play, all the chat's gonna be is bring Maven and Merc back, especially in
It,
grand finals.
Oh yeah.
instead of it being dragons, the advertisement that has the dragons. Instead of that, it's going to be bring Maven and Mark back.
Yeah,
So
I'm gonna keep my eye
Dragons.
on the chat the whole time that the matches are up. I'm just gonna look and see how many people say that.
Probably quite a few. We'll talk about it next week for sure. Alrighty, I'm gonna move us along here. We're talking a lot. So continuing through the Call of Duty League, we have a one thing that Deception wanted to bring up is Pentagram being a sub for the LA Thieves.
Yep, Pentagram got put on as a sub yesterday. That's yet another good Challengers player that's hopefully getting a shot to play on a pro team. I mean, LA's not looking that great, so
I
at
mean,
least
and
they have a guy they can go to.
I mean, they are well known for their roster changes, so they could just,
Yep.
play this weekend and be like, ah, nah, we'll bring him in. We'll see. So, Could be
Gonna
a
have to
possibility.
disagree with you there, Deception.
Ooh.
He has joined the wrong team. Wrong team.
What
That
team should he
man
join?
is going to be. That man is gonna lose. He's just gonna lose his sort of his mojo. There's no
I
way
mean,
that
yeah, you
guy's
could be right.
gonna be happy.
That could be true.
Like
I
you
mean,
have to think
especially with the
last year.
caliber of players that are on that team too. It's like I don't know if you'd
Yeah.
want to drop them.
You have to think last year. LA Thieves had 7 players in total. 7 players in total. The only other team that had 7 players total is London. Look how London ended up.
Yep,
Dropped every
No good.
single player before before the start of this season, except for one.
that could be true. Yeah, I would be surprised if that happens.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
This is the thing.
Also,
Who do you drop for Pentagon though? You've got Envoy, who was a really good sort
yeah,
of
that's
sub
the thing.
player.
There's so many good players.
You've got Octane, who's
Well,
a
the
really
thing
good
is,
AR.
Octane's on the Octane. The pressure's on Octane. I mean, he has to perform this year. He doesn't perform this year, and I don't think people are gonna invest him in him anymore. I mean, he's on the team that he wanted to play for. He got out of the surge, even though he carried them most of the time. Like he has got to perform this year.
Well, the thing is like one thing that I think will be like the defining factor of like what LA Thieves does, right? Is they've got like really good talent, it's just like the chemistry. So they're probably gonna keep switching people out until they find that chemistry again, like they tried last year, which didn't work. But they're probably not gonna change that. I mean, if they do, that'll be surprising, and I'll be like, that'll be good because
I have
chemistry
a
is something that's
feeling that they're
built.
gonna want to like change people's minds on the org, and they're gonna want to try to stay with this team as long as they can this year.
Yeah.
Like something really bad is gonna have to happen for them to drop one of those players.
The interesting thing that Nate Shot has actually decided is took all of his Call of Duty critters and put them in a compound. No longer like in apartments. He is saying you're practicing in the compound, you are scrimming in the compound, and you are playing your matches in the compound. And I think that's going to help them with chemistry.
Oh yeah, that's what Ultra have done the entire time, and that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what a lot of teams do is they have them play in. You can't play where you live. Like it's sometimes you can, but when you're professional like that, you gotta play in a space that feels like a LAN environment.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know what I
like
mean?
that's the thing is, it's like you can scrim and stuff, or you can play eights or something like that at home, and it's not really gonna affect you a whole lot. But like, if you're scrimming like a couple weeks before like a big event, or if you have a big event and it just happens to be online, like when COVID was hitting really hard, it's like if you're playing in your own home, it just doesn't the level of
Too
competition
relaxed.
doesn't feel the
You're too
same.
relaxed at home.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the thing is also at the compound, like those are soundproofed rooms too, so people can still do their stuff that they need to do, but those guys can just go in there. You know, they can make it their space, close the door, and just focus on playing. Like, you see how well the Valorant team does, and I think the League of Legends team's doing okay too. Like, they all play and practice and compete in those spaces all the time. They're doing well. I mean, the Valorant,
also
how did these Valorant teams doing really well, so, or they were anyway.
another big thing as well is they can have their coaches on hand.
True.
So like
Yeah,
if
their
you watch
coaches can literally be there with them.
the coaches cannot be in the same room, but they can be there if you know what I'm saying. So if you ever watch any of the 100 Thieves sort of like videos, at the end of the game you'll see the coach obviously walk into the room and say, "Okay, good guys, blah blah blah. Let's get ready for the next game, blah blah blah." Instead of coach having to hop into the call and say, "Okay, this is blah blah blah." That physical presence I also think will be massive
Yeah.
change for LA Thieves.
Yeah.
That's why I said I wouldn't be surprised if they're an upset team because they could come to land and show up.
They could. I mean, I think if they use this kind of situation, if they, play in the compound, they will do better. I think they will do better at land because that gives kind of like a land environment. You know what I mean? Personally, but I'm
I
gonna
mean,
move us
land
on.
just
I'm gonna move us
changes
on.
everything. I mean, who knows? There could be like a team like Florida come up and get like top 6 when they were expected to get taken out early. I mean, who knows?
True.
It's land.
Alrighty, I'm gonna move us forward because kind of like kind of just keep us rolling through these topics because there's two that I really want to like delve into. I want to make sure we have time. So another thing that we wanted to talk about was Parasite Retiring. Well, Deception wanted to talk about it, so I'll let you discuss. I'll just sit here and listen.
Yeah, Parasite put out something pretty lengthy on Twitter about it, and basically he said he just gave up, like he was done trying to keep competing when the state of the league and the state of the game just kept getting worse. And he said he tried to be like a role model for other people that wanted to succeed in the league and make it in there, but he just said that he was done with that and he was retiring.
I have absolutely nothing to say on the matter. I don't like Parasite. He has done nothing for the Call of Duty scene I can personally see. So if he wants to retire, retire.
Ooh, damn! You just said
That's-
shade.
So that's all I'm gonna say. He has done absolutely nothing for the Call of Duty scene other than creating shade on certain things. So if he wants to retire,
It's
please
true. There's a
be my
lot of
guest.
drama around Parasite. I mean, he's burned tons of bridges. There's a reason. There's a reason why he hasn't been on good teams since like 2014.
He was on London Royal Ravens for 3 games. That was it. Kicked
Yep.
off the team.
I think that's his own. I think that was his only appearance in the COD League too, the whole time.
Was it? Then he went back to Challengers and created an absolute scene. Uh, Honestly, I'm done with talking about Parasite. That man just needs to retire.
Fair.
Yeah, agreed. So, but he did, so that's what's up. So we're gonna go into something else just because it's a little off the CDL, but it's still competitive stuff. Something Raw Nation, we talk about out here. So if you guys didn't know, the Raw Nation, organization that Deception and I are part of, has now started a Warzone team to compete competitively. Now, Deception.
To compete competitively. Yep.
Yep. Deception. What's the roster?
The roster currently,
Mhm.
the team, how we have one team, and we're gonna look for another team eventually when we want more players. Right now, we have the starting roster is Ryan Relish, Mr. Burner, Dr. Roxo, and ya boy.
Yeah, boy, Deception the rapper.
Yeah, we've already had practice. We played a bunch of games together, like on and off stream, like we're having a good time. It's a really good time, to be honest. I'm excited to compete. I've been playing a bunch of Z League tourneys, so it's super fun. I really enjoy Warzone, to be honest now.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. So it's gonna be interesting to see. We finally have a competitive team again. It's been a while since we've had a competitive team. You guys are
Yup.
really putting in the work, so I think you guys hopefully will do pretty well. I can't wait to see you guys get in some Twitter tourneys personally.
Hopefully.
Yeah, so yeah, we'll keep you guys updated on that. So next, a topic of business, the new zombies update.
There was an attempt. There was an attempt. I will say, I think having some form of round based like they do now is better than just having Daron Fong as it was.
Mm-hmm.
But the form of round base they brought us is not exactly what we asked for. Like, so when you do when you start the game, it's not like you can select a round base and they take you to Shino Numa and you just play round based. You have to actually do objectives in Duron Fong to get to the round based portion to unlock Von List's office and get there. And when you go into Shino Numa, yeah, you can survive as many rounds as you want, but you still abide by the outbreak point system, and they only give you bonus points every like at the end of every round, so you're still not getting nearly as many points as normal. Every 3 rounds, you get like 5k points, so that's cool. But like in Shino Numa, all you have is a pack punch machine. Like you have to go back to the hub world every 3 rounds to go get perks and go refill on any armor or anything you need. Like you have to like why my thing is like why can it not just be all in Shino Numa? Why do we have to keep going through something we don't want to play?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just interesting, you know.
Didn't even know there was an update.
They added like a
Yeah,
round
they
base.
kind of added round based. Kind of.
Said not as like sarcastically because there was no update technically because yeah, there was no update. It's just oh we'll let you do rounds in this one map.
Yeah, it's like you can't it would be so much better if it was just, oh, you can pick round base now in the menu and it takes you to Shino Numa with everything that would be in the hub world. Like that'd be great. That'd be a lot better than what we had, but
It's
it's it's
it's
just
the
not.
worst zombies that has ever came to Call of Duty,
Uh-huh.
and everyone is saying that from people like us
Literally, like some of
who
the YouTubers won't
zombie
even
creators.
support it.
Yeah,
Like Lex literally won't play the game. Like he said, like, yeah, I know there's a round based update and I know you guys want me to play it, but I'm not supporting that game.
yeah. I mean, I was literally sitting in streams the moment that it dropped, and the three huge zombie creators all literally came out at the same time and just said, "It was fun. I enjoyed that. What's next?" They haven't touched zombies since because they just don't like it.
Yeah, I've played through it a couple times. I definitely gave it a shot, but ultimately it's not cutting it. And what the plans that they have to basically make another Daron Fong and basically do the same exact thing they've done with the first one for season 2 is like I just hope and pray that when Treyarch comes out with COD 2023 that they have it's an absolute banger for zombies because I don't think there's any saving Vanguard.
Vanguard's done and over with. There's
Honestly, like I would be completely fine and happy if they just stopped working on zombies in Vanguard and just pushed for the Treyarch game.
yeah.
I mean, I haven't played Vanguard in nearly a month.
I played like an hour ago.
Yeah,
Ain't got time.
because you're a grinder and you want the camos, but I mean, I used to do that as well in zombies and stuff, but I didn't enjoy zombies. Tried to get a refund on the day of launch, couldn't get a refund. Build it out for a while, and then Halo came out. And ever since I played Halo, I have never went back to Vanguard.
God, don't get me
Understandable.
started on Halo. I love playing Halo. Halo Infinite is so good.
Oh, it's Envoy's birthday today. Sorry. Oh, well,
Wow, let's go.
Happy
saw
birthday,
that.
you little shit.
Yeah, his
Happy
little brother
Call him
birthday
tweet.
to the most
His little brother
inconsistent
tweeted it
COD
out.
player I've ever seen.
His little brother tweeted it out. He said 2020. He said 22 years old. Ass.
Yeah. I mean, I think, yeah, happy birthday to him, but because you joined an opposite team, I still support you as a player, but I don't like you because you're in an opposite team.
Ooh, shit.
Yeah, we
Rip.
play against I want to see the Optic versus LA Thieves match so bad because I feel like if Optic just destroy LA Thieves like we think is gonna happen, Scump is
Mm.
gonna get up when that game ends. If it's 3-0, Scump is gonna have words.
Mm-hmm. He's gonna have lots of words. speaking of teams, don't know how that was a good segue, but we're gonna go with that anyway. So, one thing that I think I've noticed, and I pointed it out to Deception the other day. This is a
Okay.
totally topic change. Oh, it still does with esports and stuff, but
We still haven't covered the biggest topic of today, but okay.
what topic?
Oh, nothing. Just Microsoft buying
Oh,
Activision.
yeah, sorry. It was like the one at the top of my list. Sorry. Yeah, so anyway, so if you guys didn't know, Microsoft is buying Blizzard and Activision for what is it, 70 mil? 70
Well,
bill?
they all put it in there, so it wasn't a joke, but technically it's 69 mil.
69 million. Funny number.
Well, it's 69 billion actually. But
69 bill. Even more
well,
funny number.
so they bought Activision Blizzard and they bought King, who makes like Candy Crush and stuff, but
Ooh.
is under Activision kinda. So
Okay. Well, I mean, like, the thing is like, Microsoft's gonna make that back, first off. It's not like a bad investment.
oh
Right?
yeah.
Because one time, like,
I mean, because they
that's
have
pocket
COD, they
change,
have
you know what I mean?
Overwatch, they
They're
have
like a
all
trillion.
kinds of other games.
They're a $1 trillion
Like-
company. Microsoft is. They're taking over the world. They're becoming a monopoly. I hope
Well,
people
and that's
realize
one of
that.
the things that people were worried about initially was like, what if this is like a monopoly thing? Like, what if
It's
the
becoming one.
government won't let it happen because of a monopoly? But my thing is, I think that there's an extremely high likelihood that this is going to happen because they wouldn't have said it if they weren't worried about a monopoly.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the deal, like yeah, the deal's probably not going to close till like June of 2023 is what
Mm-hmm.
people are saying. But I think that literally the only thing left is just the validation of getting approvals. Like I don't think that a monopoly is going to be a problem.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna let you guys talk about this because guess what? I
Oh,
have a small
no.
bladder.
Yeah, no, I think with Microsoft buying it over, I think it's definitely going to be. I'm trying to find the right word. It's definitely going to be something
Interesting.
new for the world. Because I mean, with everything that's sort of been going on with production studios and certain games and stuff like that. Like I've seen that a lot of people are sort of talking about going back to the MLG days and going back to
Hey, they
the
own
West.
MLG now. They
That's what I'm saying.
when
That's what I'm saying. You know,
that might
you know,
happen.
people are saying, you know, if the CDL continues, you know, for a fourth and a fifth season with these players, MLG becomes a thing. Will those players still stay with the CDL? Will they
I
progress
just
over
wonder
to
if the
MLG?
CDL might be dissolved completely. That's my thing. Like,
I
what if
mean,
they just see that the CDL is not working? And if it doesn't
it's
turn
not.
around, what if
It's not
MLG is
working.
just like, what if MLG just comes in and they're like, hey, let's just quit the CDL and let's do our own thing?
This is the thing, right? The CDL isn't working. Every year is always something wrong. Like this year, it's like format wasn't right, and then there was discussions, and the format got changed. Then
Control
there was
doesn't work.
control doesn't work. There was glitches with control where you would, you know, you would get a tick, and then you would get off
And
the
the thing
point.
is, sometimes that works and sometimes it doesn't. I've played Control, and
Exactly, the tick doesn't
sometimes
actually
you
count.
get the tick, and sometimes it doesn't work. And like with the teams, it's like they won't let the teams play against each other until now, and it's like why? Like why can we not play against each other? Like there's
And
so
then I
many
think it
things
was
wrong.
last week the discussion was okay, no snipers. Every single person on the timeline was like, "Oh my god, it's another year with no snipers. It's going to be so boring in S&D. It's literally just going to be an Abizi, you know, montage of him getting first bloods."
Did you
And
hear
then,
Shotzi explain that though?
yeah, that's what that's what I'm going to get onto. You know, eventually, another meeting was called, and it was discussed that yes, snipers and smokes will be used. They're only going to be used in S&D.
I
I
mean,
mean,
I don't
that's
know why that's even a question. I don't know who is trying to use snipers and respawn, but okay.
I mean that's it. I mean It's I don't know. I mean, it's a good change because obviously we've been missing snipers since last year. It's definitely gonna be like a hype moment when first blood is a sniper shot across the map, or where the team is sort of splitting up 2 and 2 and they have to go across a open
Dashy with a
spot and a
sniper.
sniper.
Oh
Yeah, I
no.
mean, gonna be good things with it, but I mean, where the format is, I just don't like it. We're saying only 8 teams make it to majors, and then they change it to 12. Then
I
because
don't
there's
even know why only
12,
12 teams are making it. I wish they'd just let all the challengers teams play. Like, come on.
it's that is a massive thing as well with um discussions. Is there is actually a tournament in the middle of the year where it is the Pro Am Classic.
Yep.
That's basically all 12 teams are coming in. You've got you've got 4 challenger teams that get
Yeah,
sort of
four.
they qualify for it, and then they get put in.
Four
And it's
challengers teams, that's it.
four. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's only the four, and I pretty much already know who the four is gonna be because constantly winning. There's 2 times champion and 3 times champion. So I mean,
Yeah, I think that one team with Journey on them and stuff in the EU, they literally only lost their first Challengers Cup this weekend.
mhm, mhm. I mean, this is I've been saying to many people. I've been looking at the whole season, and the only thing that's really interesting me is the Pro Am Classic because that is basically what MLG was.
Yep.
Was amateur teams had the chance to go in, do the professional league, and go against professional teams. Now,
Yep.
funny little thing that I can tell you is if the top team on NA or EU goes against Paris, they
They're
will
gonna smoke
3-0 or 3-1 them, guaranteed.
they're gonna smoke Paris. And then everybody's gonna look at Paris like, what are you doing in the league?
This this is something that Hastro brought up. If an amateur team can beat a professional team, should that professional team pick up those amateur players?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna leave it there because we spoke about CDL too much.
Right, you guys
I
are
mean,
good.
like, on the side of with this being on the side of Microsoft buying Activision, I just hope that Microsoft goes full force into this and they really try to make changes at Activision. Because I mean, now it's all but confirmed that like Bobby Kotick is not going to be in the role that he's in now. Because like all the Activision studios have to refer to Phil Spencer now
Hmm.
once that buyout goes through.
Yeah,
So
and if the
I
Bobby guy gets fired in 2023, his minimum payout is 250 million.
yep,
So that guy was thinking ahead of time because he knew finally what he was up to. So he has in his contract minimum 250,000 if he gets fired on the spot. Then there's other circumstances where it can go anywhere between 250, I think up to like 400 million.
yeah. So I just hope when Microsoft takes over that they start making change and they start making change fast. And obviously they will have the power and they have the ability to do that. It's just how much will they actually do? I really hope that like when Microsoft comes in that they look at what Esports Engine is doing with Halo and HCS and they make all those same changes for COD. Like it would not bother me at all if the CDL just died when Microsoft came in and they were like, "Hey, we're just going to completely like change this whole thing."
If if you look at how last Halo event was run by Adam Apicella, his
Yep.
esports engine, comparing that to the CDL of the last 2 years, the Halo event was 10 to 100 times better.
I
Not
mean,
only
if
because
you look at even in viewership, I mean, if you look, I mean, a lot of people say it's like about the money and stuff and the viewers, but you look at the viewership, the peak viewership last year for COD Champs was 240K. peak viewership for the first Halo event of a new game that's not even like super like good as far as money goes. It's not like a Champs was 260K. So
There you go. That sort of shows it. Not only because they had the pro scene, also because they had 200 plus teams and off in the
yeah, they had like
brackets.
272 teams, I think.
They all played to get the chance to get into the big
And there was
boys.
a couple teams that made some pretty big runs too.
Yeah, I mean, there was Sentinels, obviously. Sentinels gave up their spot because of the whole drama behind Ogre and stuff like that there, and Formal jumped in and stuff like that. So, I mean, that team
Almost
was
showed up.
expected to make it, but I don't think that team was expected to beat Optic, which they did. But yeah, that
Almost showed up, man.
definitely
It
shows
was
what
his birthday.
Adam. It was his birthday, correct? I mean, it does show what Adam Bazella can do
Yeah.
in terms of running an event.
Yeah, he definitely has what it takes. And if they if they if they saw this whole Microsoft buyout thing and they were like, "Hey, now that Activision's with us, can we start running COD events?" I'm sure that Microsoft would look at them and be like, "Yeah, for sure."
I just agree. Yeah.
All right. There's one more thing that I want to talk about before we go into the questions. We do have a question. Thanks, Mr. B. Now, there's one thing that I've been noticing. Right, and I brought this up to Deception the other day.
Yep.
And I don't know if it's really for any reason. It could go either way. But in the last month, I've seen a lot of Faze members leave. Like Faze Clan members leave.
Yep.
Like, and I didn't really think anything of it at first, because people leave, whatever. But like, there's quite a few people when it comes to like bigger orgs. Not everybody leaves all at the same time. Like people leave over time, but like within the last like month or two, quite a few people have left. Right? Orba, he's a Fortnite trick shotter. Jasper, Thieves, Kaz. So and this is all within 2022, really. So
like the last week.
Yeah. So
I mean,
what does this mean?
Before Tone brought it up, but
I don't know. I didn't really think anything of it at first. It was like, oh, okay, he's leaving. Cool. Have fun on your future ventures, right? But like with ooh, bless me. With big organizations like this, you don't see like more than like 2 people leave at a time, right? Yeah. Within like the same span of like a couple months, right? And this is 4 people leaving within the matter of a month. I don't know whether it's their contracts are up, or they got removed, or they just wanted to leave. Like,
I mean, I don't think a lot of drama is gonna come out of it, to be honest.
I don't know. I like to remain hopeful. I like drama.
Wow. You say that and look at what happened to the org that we followed. Great.
True. Well, I mean, one thing could be, I think probably what the main is, they're just FaZe is just trying to like make room for more talent,
Yep.
because like, yeah, they're good creators, right? But a lot of them, they're like Orba's a Fortnite trick shotter. Trick shotting's kind of dead, in my opinion, especially in Fortnite. Not dead, but Fortnite trick shotting is definitely dying, on the verge of death. Right? Personally, that's my thought. As far as Kazify goes, he I know he's a Fortnite player too, right? So, and I think Thieves is a Fortnite player as well. So they might just be like starting to like ease out of Fortnite a little bit. Could be.
Maybe.
Could be.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't really follow Fortnite or
neither do I
that much, so I couldn't tell you.
But I don't know, just something to think about. And like Jarvis, like he really doesn't game much anymore because mainly like
Jarvis got banned for Fortnite, so he has no life anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, he like just does stuff, and I don't like the kid. He's too cocky.
I mean, he did smoke that guy in the boxing match.
True, but he's really
That was
cocky.
fun to watch, but
He's really cocky, and he's young, and I mean, I'm one to speak, but you know, it's like, you know.
I mean, all I can say is I don't think there's going to be any drama that comes from behind it. I think it's literally just trying to change up their team, or maybe they're trying to get rid of, team that's in a certain game, or as you say, Trickshotting's dead, isn't as popular anymore, and stuff like that. I don't really think there's going to be much drama behind it.
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think so either. I mean, it could be like them leaving Faze for some reason, but
I mean, like you have to look at it in the eyes of a young talented person.
mhm.
Maybe they're being offered better money elsewhere, and they can't announce it yet, or maybe they have better opportunities going somewhere else, or they like a certain team in a certain place. I know Benji Fishy uh, recently re-signed with NRG, and I mean NRG is run very well because they're keeping their team um very well. So, I mean,
Knows?
you got to think about it in a normal sense way, where maybe he just wants to join a different team. Maybe he's got a better opportunity, or his friends are in a different organization, and
Yeah.
Well, like I get that. It's just so many leaving with a short time span. It kind of makes it a little suspicious. So I thought I'd bring it up just in case anything does come of it. So
I mean,
to the light.
you think about like any kind of like competitive team, like when it's a competitive team, if it's a business, it's like if they drop people all at once, they're all gonna leave all at once. I mean, it's like when London squad wiped their team except for Afro, and then Paris squad wiped their team, and
Well, the thing is like
like all
they're.
that.
I think the only one that actually like competed was like Thieves. Thieves.
I mean, they could just be scaling back on Fortnite.
Maybe.
Maybe they're just like, yeah, we might have too many people here.
Who knows? I mean, they're bringing new people in. I just, it's just,
here's
like
another
I
perspective for
get what
you.
you say to like Tamaga when you say like they found like other opportunities. It's just so many of them at once. It just kind of like why?
This is the thing. When was the last time you heard about a Fortnite creator from Faze?
That is true. I brought that up to
Like,
Tone as well. I was like,
compare that to when was the last time you heard about a Faze or a Fortnite creator from NRG or 100 Thieves? Constantly seeing stuff being posted.
well, and that's the
Happy
thing about
birthday,
Phase,
and these are
man.
clips
Like
and stuff.
Phase is such a big org. There's so many people. It's like what the Fortnite people might be like outcasts in the org. It's like who knows?
Yeah, true. I mean, like the thing is like it is a COD based organization, so it could just be sticking back to its COD roots. I mean, they did announce.
I mean, they have been going back to COD quite a bit lately, so.
I mean, they still have Nate Hill, but like Nate Hill's pretty big, like in the Fortnite world. Second, I think I saw something because I was scrolling through. I mean, they have like a really big event tomorrow, by the way, so like that's something to look out for. Also, speaking of Faze, like they have a really big event going out tomorrow, like so I think exception I but
What is happening?
Faze has a really big event coming out tomorrow. They really haven't disclosed much on it. It's just gonna be on
Of
Twitch.
course, it comes out tomorrow.
It's hold on, what time? It's 3:00 EST. 3 p.m. EST. The biggest thing we've ever done. That's all they quoted it. And then every single one of their members liked it, like posted it too. The
We'll see.
the craziest thing we've ever done, the craziest thing we've ever done, the biggest thing we've ever done, the biggest thing we've ever done, the coolest thing
Yeah,
we've ever
after
done,
like 7 of our members left.
the biggest thing we've ever
After
done, the greatest thing we've ever done, so
didn't
it's
Faze go live on the stock market?
I
Wouldn't
I
that
think
technically
so.
be a massive thing for your
That might
thing?
be
Like,
that might be what they're doing. I
It
wouldn't
could
be
I
be.
could,
surprised.
I mean, with the
yeah,
image, it kind of looks like,
I wouldn't be
techie,
surprised.
so it could be that. But it's on YouTube and they're going live on YouTube and they're going live on Twitch. So I don't know
Hey,
if it's an
people stream on
announcement.
the stock market stuff on Twitch all the time. Look at
They
Big
do?
Timer.
Oh,
Look at the
you're right. You're
goat.
right. You're right. You're right. So it could be that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I'm speculation. You know, there could be probably will be an announcement like that.
Tone's just looking for drama. That's it.
I really am. I'm a drama seeker. I don't like drama, but if drama happens to arise, you know, might as well talk about it. All right.
Typical.
Anybody have anything else they want to talk about? Deception? Do you have any topics you want to talk about? Tamaga? Do you want anybody talk? Do you have what? Do you have any topics you want to talk
Oh,
about?
why did your voice increase whenever you said my name?
Tamaga?
Oh.
Tamaga?
Ooh.
Like that?
Are you trying to get me to ask you questions? Hmm?
I don't know.
I
You
don't
wanna
know,
ask
because
questions?
obviously, because I mean, with me being the stats guy and stuff, obviously, I won't be here every week. You guys will obviously have stats every week. What I was sort of interested in doing is because there's only 4 sort of majors, maybe off stream or something, we could do like picks for the actual weeks. And then sort of work it out. Oh,
I thought maybe for like podcast, if we the week like the Wednesday before a CDL major, we could just bring you in and do picks
Mm-hmm.
like we
Just for
did today.
like a 50, like when we did with Mr. Burner, we brought him in for like 20 minutes. Do that with you too.
Because I thought it was really fun doing picks today.
I mean, that's why I sort of wasn't, pushing too much about doing, picks for the kickoff classic, because teams can sort of play it off. They'll play calm, they'll not show their strats and stuff like that. After the kickoff classic, you'll get a feel for a team, and that's why I sort of wanted to do the qualifier one, which runs for 3 weeks. Do a pick and sort of see how you guys get on. Compared to me, and I mean, you're gonna have the same stats that I have, so there's gonna be no
Yeah,
advantage
but
or disadvantage.
some people just have different opinions. Like today,
Mm-hmm.
like Tone voting for New York just because she likes New York rather than looking at stats.
True. Real hot girl shit.
Hmm. I mean, I've nothing else to ask. I mean, yeah, maybe I'll drop by now and again, as long as you don't leak that I'm coming on this thing.
You're the one that came into the
That's
chat.
her, not me.
Listen,
My hands are tied.
listen. You're the one that came into the chat today talking about the podcast. That's all I'm
I
saying.
leaked it 3 to 4 weeks ago.
Shh. No, I did not.
Oh yeah, well,
She
yes,
listen.
you won
She
the
can't
Wednesday
resist
before it
talking
kicks
about
off.
things on stream.
I
It's a
legit
problem.
can't.
Never bring up anything that could be leaked in her chat.
Unless you make me pinky promise or sign an NDA. That's all I'm saying.
That's pretty difficult.
Okay. Do you
I
know what
know.
I'll do? What I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get you an NDA created. I'm gonna get you to sign the NDA.
Shh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to sign it first. Will I? Probably not.
You know what? Do you actually know what I'm gonna do?
Hmm.
I'm gonna put a $100 bounty this season. If you guys can beat me, I'll give you $100.
Wow.
How about that?
I'm
If
gonna
you
have to
beat
pull out
me,
stuff.
yeah. If you beat me, I'll give you $100.
Beat you at what?
Protecting the games.
Yeah, that's exactly. Tone replying to that tells me how much she's gonna invest in this.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Can you repeat one more time? It's really, it's not registering in my brain right now, and I don't know why.
Okay. So there's 2 ways you can do it. You can pick the team, pick the score, and you'll get points. You can pick,
Okay, I understand now.
or you
Alright,
pick
okay.
players and pick a team,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of every week you'll have a score.
I mean, I can.
you
Yeah,
got
I can do that. I can do that. Will it be right? Probably not. You'll probably beat me, but I'll try it. I'll do it.
It's worth a shot. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, what? $100 is $100. You know what I'm saying? Like shit. As long as I don't have to give you money, that's all that matters to me.
I mean, is there a counter offer? Can you offer me something if I win?
You can come back on the podcast.
I mean,
Tamaga, if you win, you're just the best stat guy on the planet. That's
Pretty
it.
much. Like, there's no competition.
maybe a few orgs have been emailed. Maybe my portfolio has been sent. Maybe I'll not even be back on this podcast. I'll be picked up. Who knows?
You know?
And you
I
can be
do
the
have.
first podcast.
True. You know, I do. You know, I am in a management position within an organization called
Yeah,
Raw
you can't
Nation.
afford me. I'm sorry, you can't afford
You can't
me.
afford you. How much you cost?
How much do I cost? You
Yeah.
don't want to discuss that over the podcast.
Two man,
Yeah,
here we
she's gonna
are.
leak
I
it.
leak everything. Let's go. They call me leakage.
No.
Tonnage the leaker. Let's go, leakage. Tell me.
$150 to $200 an hour.
An hour? Bruh.
Yep.
What are you
Yep.
trying to get? Some baloney, bro? Yeah, oh my god.
You can't afford me.
You
You
can't
don't know
afford
that.
baloney, so.
Maybe you'll just
Uh,
work 1 hour every week.
1 hour every week.
Yeah.
We just dump
Right.
all the stats in 1 hour.
And
I
then
mean,
boom.
you know, if I'm just doing stats, I'll give you the reduced fee, $50. You can take a look at the
50
the
bucks a
stats and
week?
stuff.
Let's go. I'm
No,
down.
no,
I'm down.
no.
50 bucks a week. Let's go. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know. You know,
Yeah, 50 bucks a week. I'm down.
something I actually
No,
wanted to bring
yeah.
up to you,
Yeah,
sort
$50
of,
a week, right?
off stream or off podcast. But here's something for you, right?
Yeah.
If you're the head of content creation or the head of sort of creating teams, why don't you get a program or some sort of content series on the CDL, on news on the CDL, a bit like
Put me
Optic
on it.
Intel. No?
Like on the Raw Nation channel? Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could.
Like,
Raw intel, let's go.
because me and Deception can sit here and talk for multiple hours,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, listen,
don't
I
you
could
get
talk to Tamaga about the CDL all day long.
yeah, why don't you get someone that can come in and be like, no, this week in the CDL or
I used to do that shit, Tamaga. Did you not know that?
Tone, you used to do CDL videos in your room with paper taped on the walls.
Yeah, I
of
did.
logos.
And I used to do it in a freaking suit too, and I don't want to hear your shit. I used to put a bow. No, I used to put a freaking tie that you had to tie
Put a
yourself.
bow on?
Now
Are you a present?
yeah, I'm a present to life. Okay. No, I used to like do like one of the. I put a tie on. I put a black tie on, not one of the clip-on ones. The ones you actually have to tie. I'd put a white button-up on, and it looks snazzy as
You
fuck.
searched up how to tie a tie on Google.
Shh, I did it on YouTube. Get it right. My dad's dead. I can't really just ask him for help.
Okay.
wow.
All right.
Wow, okay. No, but I do actually have a question for you though.
Yeah. Do you want to do off stream, on stream?
No, we can do it on stream. So, what is the outlook ahead for your organization? Like, what are you particularly looking for? And what is your outlook upon what you want to do with it?
So with Raw, I'm gonna say what I can. I can't really delve too much into it because you know there are some things we are working on.
Have you signed the NDA yet?
Yeah, I actually have. So.
Have signed the NDA?
Yeah, I signed one like a year ago.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm gonna speak on it a little, but I can't say too much, right? But my goal for Raw, right, is I want us to be that org. You know what I mean? And by that org, I mean like there's a lot of orgs where you see stuff go wrong, right? Like if you look at like organizations like Faze, you know, they're a great org, best org in the country, like the world. Right, but what's the one thing that like I think is one of the most noticeable things about them? They don't have any female streamers. They have like 2. One on Atlanta Faze and then one in the main Faze Clan, right? Kaylee and Noisy Butters. Right? The rest are guys.
Oh. No.
Who?
Listen, you're missing a lot of people.
Who?
You've got Swish'em.
Swisham's on NYSL.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm talking
female creators.
No. I'm talking about in one organization.
I mean, it's Swish is on NYSL.
Well, yeah. I'm not talking about NYSL.
Thieves creators.
Well, 100 Thieves is doing it. Oh, you guys are missing my point. In every single organization, they're always missing something. There's always something they're missing, right? It's different with every organization. I'm using Faze's example, and then I'll go to another org and use their example. And You guys are missing my point here, okay?
Well, you got to get to it first.
Okay,
We're moving
yeah.
very slowly.
Sorry.
As
I'm
much as
just-
you wanted to move on before when we were
I
talking
know.
about things, now you're moving slow.
Well, because you know how I tell stories, okay? I'm very all over the place, and I take this very seriously. Like, this is... Raw Nation's been my life for 2 years, okay? Anyway, so, you know how, like, in Faze, there's only, like, 2 female creator members, right? There's a lot of, like, female, you know, members behind the scenes, but not really a lot on, and that's what I think we're trying to do with Raw, is get it to that point where, like, we have a very good balance and diversity within our creators. You know, not only, you know, by gender, but by race, by ethnicity, by representation
I think
of
we're doing an okay
the
job of that.
LGBTQ plus community. Like I feel like we are doing a good job, and I think that's something that I want to continue to improve on. Second, I am in charge of the content creator team now. So like, I'm their lead, right? The content team.
Yeah, now we're actually going to be visible to the rest of the org.
Yeah, so like I think that's one of the things is like they're kind of like our secret weapon. You know what I mean? Like they're really good, and there's a lot of really good creators on the team. So I figured, you know, I'm gonna start putting them to use using stuff for like we're gonna revive our YouTube channel here in the next coming months. I'm gonna do a little CPR, you know, little 30 compressions to 2 breaths. You know, and we just brought on Chozo Nippo. We just brought on Chozo Nippo too. So now we have actually a stream team. So if you guys look, it should show underneath my stream that I'm part of a stream team.
Yeah,
so our mainstream team. So the mainstream team of Raw Nation.
You have like 20 roles, but okay.
I do have really. How many roles do I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
in Discord,
6, 7.
you have like 9.
I have 7 in Discord, but in actuality, I have like 10 or 11. Like.
Yeah, you're basically just carrying everybody, so.
I wear all the hats on my head. But, and then like with social media, we're trying to, you know, ramp up the social medias again, make them more consistent and a little bit more
a great job with that.
Lighthearted. You know, I'm a gift gal. I like my gifts. Trying again. You know, it's a little lackluster right now, but that's just because I've been working a lot and I'm starting new stuff. But anyway, not the point. But yeah, and I just want to take Raw to its fullest potential. You know? So we're creating content and we're competing again, which is great. We have a Warzone team now. So we're finally like competing, which is something. And I want us to bring in more teams in other games or even a COD itself.
I have some ideas.
I know you have ideas. And we're working on some stuff behind the scenes. Like we are. I can't really say what, but we are working on some things. The goal is to just keep expanding not only the members, but the community. We want to make sure Raw is more of a known name, you know? It's not just, oh, I know this person. Oh, they're in Raw? What's Raw? No, it's like, oh, they're in Raw? That's so cool. Raw's so, like, you know, that's what I want. Okay, I'm done now.
I mean, you talked about how there's always, like, one thing missing from an org. I personally have talked about something that's missing from almost every org except, like, one.
Okay, what's missing?
Zombies team?
True. I think Obey is the only one that has a zombies team, right?
Pretty sure.
So who knows? Maybe we can. Maybe we can get something going. I don't know. Well, it's the only well-known one. So.
All I'm saying is I'm here if you need my assistance on a zombies team.
I'll keep you in on that. Alrighty. Anyone else have anything to say? Any more questions or comments?
Do you not have a question from the audience?
Oh, we do have a question from the audience. My bad, Mr. B. We do have one question from the audience.
Mr. B.
From Mr. B, my fave.
My teammate.
You know, I love Mr. B. Mance always comes in clutch with the questions. Always. Okay, so his question is, what are your hopes for future CODs moving toward 2-year life cycles?
Who's going first?
You guys can. Tamaga, you go first since you're the guest.
Can you repeat the question? Can you repeat the question?
Oh yeah, sorry. What are your hopes for future CODs moving forward 2-year life cycles?
A better competitive scene.
Better competitive
scene.
Okay.
Ranked play to come out at the game launch. Please give us a better zombies experience at the
Mhm.
Yep.
launch. And apart from that, probably not much else. I think next year will probably be hanging up the controller. Um, so yeah, I think there's one more year for it with me, and I think I'm hanging up the controller.
I think it's that way for a lot of people personally. I mean, me,
Yeah, I
I'm
think Modern
stubborn,
Warfare
so
2 is viewed as the last hope.
yeah. Like,
I mean, I'm old.
hours.
That's what I'm trying to say. Old.
But I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think if their 2 year cycle where they, release a new game every 2 years, I think it'll give them more time to work. To keep the rotation they have. Just give them more time to work on the game and the new game, and just the longer time it takes to develop, the better the game is when it comes out. I mean, yeah, it's gonna have its bugs. It's gonna have its
Well,
rough ends, but
Battlefield 2042 question
we
mark?
don't talk about that one. We don't talk about that one. That one we don't talk about.
Well, I kind of understand why the game has failed, but
I
I don't
mean,
as
know.
far as
let's put it this way, right? Competitive is gonna die soon as Scump hangs up the controller.
You think?
I think that I don't I'm not gonna say it's gonna die, but I think when
Viewership will plummet.
When Scump retires, we'll have like 30 to 40% of the viewership that we used to have.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
viewership
then
is
who do
just
you
gonna.
support after that?
I mean, for me, I'll still support the Optic team, but there will be definitely a big hole in it without Scump because he's been here nearly the whole time. And it's like it's gonna be hard. I mean, I haven't really realized it yet, but it's gonna be hard watching them play without Formal because Formal's been there forever.
Yeah, but he was gone for a while, so it's not
Yeah,
like
he went to
totally new.
LG.
I mean,
Not a
he was
totally new
gone, but
experience.
it's like the whole time you were still rooting for him and secretly hoping he would come back. And when he came back, it was.
Yeah, see what you're saying.
I mean, when it comes to like my hopes for a 2-year development cycle, if you'd asked me this last week on the podcast, I would have said, well, Activision needs to make money, as much money as they already have. They still need to make money somehow. And I don't think that that will happen unless a COD is like uber successful to the point that fans really push for a year two.
Mm-hmm.
But now with Microsoft buying them, honestly, like I would not be surprised if Microsoft comes in and makes drastic changes to COD.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way, but in like the best way possible. Like I would not be surprised that if Modern Warfare 2 comes out and Modern Warfare 2 does well, so Microsoft comes in June 2023 and they're like, Treyarch, you can hang out for a little bit. We're gonna wait till 2024 for your game, and we're gonna let Modern Warfare 2 have its shine for a bit longer.
Uh-huh.
I would
I
not be
agree.
surprised.
I think that'd be a good idea. I don't know. I think it'll either save the game entirely or hopefully it'll save the
That's how
hopefully it'll
I
save the
feel
game.
about the Microsoft buyout. It's either gonna be like it's either gonna be a slippery slope that they're gonna have a hard time fixing,
Mm-hmm.
or it's just gonna completely revive the game like it did with Halo.
Yeah. So we'll have
I
to wait and
think
see.
I think if next year's game is the way this game currently is, I can definitely see a lot of high tier professional players. You're talking, Scum, Clayster,
And
Crim6, the people that have been there for a long time probably end up retiring.
Yeah, I would not be surprised either, honestly. Like if Vanguard doesn't I mean, obviously it's gonna be almost impossible to make Vanguard like extremely playable in a competitive state, but if Vanguard kind of continues on the slope that it's on and things don't get drastically better by like Major 3 at the latest, and then Modern Warfare 2 gets revealed and it's basically the same thing as Vanguard, I could see Scump being like, yeah, I don't want to play this again.
Yeah.
Not much else we can really say other than we'll have to wait to see what happens. But
So it's a big waiting game, for sure.
yeah, and everyone was sort of hyped for Vanguard, and look at it now.
Yep.
We'll hate it.
It's the same, and like it's also with Scump. Like he said, like he doesn't want to quit until he gets a second ring. But at
He
the
might
same
have to
time, I
quit
feel
though.
like, yeah, like he might have to. Like if Optic doesn't do well, or if the game just keeps, frustrating him with the state of the game and stuff, he might just quit. He might just have to. But I mean, even though the game is not in a great state, I can see that Scump is really giving it everything he's got this year. Whether that means that he's thinking about retirement right now and he's wanting to give it one last hard push before he retires, or he's just like, I really want that second ring. I'm going to push through the game's issues to try to get it. Either way, I mean, he's been looking like a beast on this game, and he's looking hungry. So we'll see.
Yeah. Alrighty, I'm gonna call the podcast here just because we've been going at it for over an hour and a half. Trying to save the viewers, big thanks to Tamaga for being our first official guest. I mean, we've had a couple people on this, the podcast.
I mean, we had
but
Riss
we had
in your
Riss.
lap, and then she went to sleep.
She literally passed out on my lap.
We had Mr. Burner for 15 minutes.
Yep. And now we had Tamaga for the entire thing. So congratulations. We had a really lengthy one today. So
I
everything.
told you it was gonna happen.
Oh yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Whether you're tuning in on Twitch or you're tuning in later on YouTube or another platform once I figure it out. Kind of slacking on that department if I do myself. Thank you again to my co-host Deception. This has been the Climb Together podcast. Anybody have anything to add?
Bye.
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 Alright guys, if you guys did enjoy, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe or follow us on Twitch. We got some things going on. We'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, 12 p.m. EST every week. And yeah, see you guys next time.